Hello there. Have you ever wondered if the legends behind the 10x developer are true? Let me know your opinions and let me know in the comments below before you watch the video. I want to know your opinions before and after you watch the video. So my opinion is yes, the 10x developer exists. Now, to be honest, I think we have the 1x developer and then the 0.1x developer, and I'm going to explain what is so different from them so that we have one developer that is 10 times more productive than the other. And I'm going to start off with my opinion, which is the most important aspect of a 10x developer is he deeply cares about his craft. Everything else that I'm going to talk about on this video derives from this principle alone. He cares about his craft. And the regular developer, well, if it works, it works. So, is the front end slow? Doesn't matter. Is the back end slow? Doesn't matter. Do we have a bunch of unnecessary queries on the database? Doesn't matter. The app is working, and that's all it matters. Now, the 10x developer, he cares about what he's doing. So if he encounters any type of problem, that problem is going to bother him. And when he gets bothered by a problem, he looks for a solution. He is proactive. Instead of just doing what he's being paid to do and then leaving, no. If he finds a problem, he's going to be mad about it, and then he's going to try to fix that problem. The next topic is testing. Tests, is that a JavaScript framework? That's the thought that goes through a regular developer mind. And then on the other side, the 10x developer, he wants to write tests. And you know why? Because he wants to ship more features. And in order to ship more features, he needs to be confident. If he has a 0% trust level on the existing code, he's not gonna be able to ship more features on top of a flaky foundation. And in order to become more confident, you need to write tests. The regular developer is like, look, the app is working. It can be slow, but it's working. So why should I write a test for something that is already working? Next topic. A 10x developer never blames external factors for his problems. So here I'm using bad performance as an example. If you go to a bad front-end developer, he's gonna say, well, the front-end is slow because Next.js is shipping way too much JavaScript to the client. Oh, the backend is slow? Well, that's because we're using MongoDB, and then MongoDB for this use case is very slow. And then you never see a front-end developer, a 10x developer ever mentioning any tools. He doesn't go to the daily stand-up and says, well, Next.js screwed us over and there's nothing I can do about it. No, he finds the issue. He finds, for example, the bad performance. He tries to be proactive and come up with a solution. And then he goes to the daily stand-up and is like, look, Next.js, I don't know, maybe it's a bit slow here, but in order to compensate for this issue, I can, I don't know, try to use CDN for images. I can try to do some caching on the front end, do some static site generations here and there. He's going to come up with a solution. And there's that saying, right, that a bad worksman, a bad worker, always blames his tools. So it's rare to find like a true 10x developer just complaining about the tools. And then a regular developer always complains about his tools. The next topic is learning. The 10x developer always wants to learn more. He's curious. So a 10x developer on the front end, he might see the image component from Next.js and think, whoa, this image component is very performant. I wonder what's happening under the hood. And then he will find out that the image component from Next is just a wrapper around the image tag from HTML. And then you can create your own image component instead of relying on a third-party component from Next. And then once you learn the fundamentals behind the image component, you can reuse that fundamentals on all the other images that you create. And then the regular developer is like, look, I need to use an image. Next.js gives me an image component. That's it. That's where my learning stops. I know there's an image component. I'm going to use it. And that's it. I don't care about what's going on under the hood. I have the image component. Does that fix my problem? Yes. Then I don't care. And then I have a story time actually. There was one team that I was working with, and one of the tickets was to install Cypress. No, sorry, it was to install Playwright as the end-to-end testing framework. But we already had Cypress on the code base. I have no idea who wrote that ticket, but it makes no sense. Like both libraries, they do the same thing. Oh well, we have balloons from macOS, okay. Both libraries, they do the same thing. So it makes no sense to install both. You just want to pick one. So another developer, he got the ticket, he installed Playwright, opened the PR, and then I blocked the PR. And I was like, look, we already have Cypress. Why are you installing Playwright? And then his answer was, well, I'm just following the Jira ticket. The ticket asks me to install Playwright. I'm just following the orders. And that was his only response. So I'm like, bro, come on. Just open up package.json and you're gonna see that you're installing a duplicate package. We don't need that. Are you sure you wanna go ahead and install this second library? Now, I didn't say this. I actually wrote a message saying, hey, I'm sorry about this, but I don't think this ticket makes sense. I'm gonna have a talk with the manager and see how we should proceed. Then I spoke to the manager and he was like, oh, sorry, I didn't know we were already using Cypress, so you can delete this ticket. So then later, I went back to that ticket and I talked to the developer on the PR and I said, look, I'm sorry. I spoke to the manager. He agreed with me that it makes no sense. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to close the PR. And yeah, I could feel that he got a bit mad, but just don't follow the rules blindly. You can read the ticket and immediately realize when something makes no sense. You should question everything. If it doesn't make sense, just don't follow that rule blindly. Just talk to people, talk to your team, talk to your manager. Just do something about it. And then the final one is agency over his career. A regular developer is constantly complaining about his boss, complaining about his team, complaining about his salary, complaining that the company doesn't let him write tests. And then you're like, okay, the situation is bad. Have you started looking for other jobs? And then his answer is like, nah, not really. So I'm like, well, then stop complaining. If the situation is as bad as you're convincing me it is, then you should be looking for another job. Otherwise, stop complaining. Because if you have all these problems and you're not doing anything to solve those problems, you cannot complain. That's my theory of life. And for example, if you are a 10x developer, and let's suppose that you're working for a toxic company that doesn't let you write tests, that whenever you try to express your opinion or question something, people get mad. So it's like a toxic environment. If you are a 10x developer, you are going to look for a solution to this problem because the 10x developer, he has agency over his career and he is proactive. Whenever there's a problem, it needs to be fixed, okay? Nobody is going to save you from a toxic company. You are the CEO of your own life and you should look into a solution. So you have agency over your career. You should try to look for another job that better fits your characteristics. And that's it. Like, As I said, you can remove everything else from this list because everything is derived from this first principle of caring. If you care about your craft, you are going to write tests, you are going to try to improve performance, you are going to question everything, you're not gonna just follow rules blindly, you are going to try to fix the problems instead of just complaining to your boss and saying that, oh, it's because of Next.js, it's because of MongoDB. No, you just fix the problem. Okay, just fix the problem. You have agency, you are proactive, and all of this because you care. And you can immediately tell if a developer cares about his craft or not. Usually, like within 1 or 2 days working with that person, you can tell if he's doing that just for, I don't know, I'm gonna do the bare minimum, get paid, and leave, or if he truly cares about his profession. And that's it. Well, it's pretty late at night. My face is very dark here. Sorry about that, but I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.